Hello, and welcome back for a blood-fueled frenzy of freakishly fastidious flagellation down in the filth-filled foyers of Perfidious Manor in Darkest Dungeon. Filth-filled foyers? Yeah, you did me dirty last episode, Darkest Dungeon. You did me dirty. Starting things off right out of the box by throwing the Crimson Curse at Malvolio, the only character on the roster we cared about not having the Crimson Curse, the one guy. And you didn't even give me a room or two to like warm up to the fact. You just bam, right here, Crimson Curse right in my face. You know what, Darkest Dungeon? That's a dick move. Dick move. The only guy we cared about not getting the Crimson Curse, because we already have a flagellant with the Crimson Curse, and that's the guy you give it to. I mean, I sound incredulous when I say that, but honestly, I don't know why I'm surprised. I really don't. Of course, the one guy we didn't want to get the Crimson Curse is the one guy who got it. This is Darkest Dungeon. That's the way shit works, Pete. It's just, it's par for the course. What are you gonna do? Go to a Taylor Swift concert and then be shocked when she leads off the show by playing Shake It Off? Of course she opened with Shake It Off. It's the title of her most recent album and like one of her 3 #1 Billboard hits. She's gonna play it. What's next? You gonna go to Taco Bell, order veal parmesan, and then be surprised when the cashier just gives you a blank stare? Kid has no idea what veal parmesan is. He spends all day trying to avoid getting stuffed into a locker between classes, and then he spends all night making 89-cent tacos. He's never heard of veal parmesan, Pete. He couldn't even identify 2 ingredients in the dish, even though the name of the dish is the 2 main ingredients. What did you expect, Pete? What did you expect? What's next? You gonna go buy a lotto ticket and be shocked when you don't win? You're right. You're right. I should have been like, well, Malvolio's definitely getting the Crimson Curse. I think the lesson here is just that I'm not being pessimistic enough. More pessimism is the answer to this particular quandary. Just be like, always assume the worst that you can imagine, and then assume worse than that. Just like start with the worst you can imagine, and then assume that every mission is going to wind up being slightly worse than that. That's what you should do. Also, I think our plan for this episode was to go into the ruins and try and kill the Sonorous Prophet. I still feel like this group is pretty good at that. We have Wasting Sickness, which sucks a little bit, but Spasm of the Entrails is less of a big deal. Also, we should unequip all of our trinkets because a bunch of our people are wearing garbage that we picked up just to sort of bring back because we had room. Mostly we had room because I forgot to equip them with trinkets. Is this the ideal party for this particular task? We can't use caltrops from the first position, so really what we should do is we should probably... All of these things work from 1, though, right? Yeah, we can do all of it. So we should just have you 2 swap. So you guys flip around a little bit, be in the lead, and this way we can have an attack that hits every position from... Yeah, I like this much better. Sonorous Prophet, I say, yes, let's go get him. We got him. We can do this. And also, the main reason I want to do it, this Coven Signet is actually very good for any character who has the Crimson Curse. Minus 25% stress is frankly freaking huge. Let's go get him. Plus, I mean, we kind of want the guy dead. We are eventually going to need to go down into the cove and then subsequently the Weald, but this mission, if we are successful, will also have the added benefit of getting Malvolio, Rosencrantz, Lounce, and Prospero all up to Resolve rank 3, which really opens up our options for going into the courtyard. I'm excited for that too. Not as excited as I was when Taylor Swift played Shake It Off, because honestly, I was giddier than a schoolgirl. It's like, oh, she played it. I can't believe she played it. Trinkets, though. Because last time we didn't do trinkets, and this time I'm not going to do that. Let's give them trinkets. Unequip all trinkets. No, sort them by... Actually, prefer to have them sorted by rarity. And let's give them to people. The Ancestor's Candle's real good. It's fantastic. Bonus speed, bonus dodge, bonus damage if your torchlight is above 50. It's frankly fantastic. We're going to give our Flagellant the Eternity Collar, and I think maybe like Legendary Bracer. It does lower his speed a little bit, which I'm not a huge fan of. The Chirurgeon's Charm is good, plus 15% healing is nice. Bonus accuracy to range skills, a little penalty to dodge. We don't really need any of this stuff. Bonus, I mean, 20% protection for extra stress doesn't really seem worth it. Our Abomination is going to be quite good if we can get the Osmond. We really need to start taking that guy on more missions. Do we want to take the stress penalty is the question. The Sonorous Prophet does have stress attacks. If we don't take the stress penalty, though, the other question is, what would we give these guys? I mean, I suppose we could give them a little bonus speed. That's not terrible. Accuracy Stone certainly wouldn't hurt either. Slippery boots. I mean, that's bonus dodge and move resist. That's not terrible. Not for, I think, a flagellant, though. We could just give you... We could take a penalty to our dodge to just give... You know what? We should take a penalty to our dodge to give you bonus damage, actually. That's a solid improvement. Let's do that. For you, I think we're going to give you the Ancestor's Candle. Bonus... Well, we don't... Do we want you to have bonus speed, though? Bonus speed and dodge is useful. It's also an extra 10% stress, though. What could we couple that with that would help? We could give you bonus accuracy for less dodge. Less enthused about that. We could just go for more dodge. You know what? Yeah, let's just go for more dodge. We'll crank you up to 24 dodge. Lounce. I really don't know what to give you on this one. Bonus healing is not useful for you. We could give you a little bonus damage as well. Lowering your speed is something I don't hate, because your speed is also kind of terrible anyway. How can we then help subsidize your lower speed? Bonus stun skill chance. You do have some stun skills. Disease resistance for -2 dodge. In case we run into some Crimson Curse equipped people is not a terrible idea. Bonus accuracy in favor of speed. Don't really care about that. What is this? Bonus accuracy to range skills. You're not going to be using any. We could just give you speed stones, which just straight up give you a little bit of speed. It's not a terrible idea either. Don't we have a cudgel weight? I thought we had a cudgel weight somewhere. Because I remember remarking on the fact that cudgel weight wasn't near as good as it used to be. Did we lose that or misplace it somehow? Stun skill chance? No. I could have sworn we had a cudgel weight, but I mean, I guess I was wrong. Bonus accuracy to range skills for -2 dodge. You don't really have any range skills. Reckless charm. Bonus accuracy at a penalty to dodge. I'd really rather not penalize your dodge. Well, I mean, we gave you a huge speed penalty. Let's just offset it a little bit by giving you a slight speed. We are, yeah, let's accept. We're probably overthinking this. I mean, it's a relatively low-level dungeon. We don't really need to go just off the rails on a crazy train Ozzy Osbourne style here. Bonus accuracy for range skills at a penalty to dodge. Probably worth it. No, you know what? Not worth it, actually. Never mind. We don't. What we want to give you is more dodge, if anything. Or, ideally, what we want to give you is more speed. Let's give you... Don't we have something that gives a plus a bunch of speed for... Nope. Alright, let's give you... Yeah. Let's just give you a speed stone and get your speed up. I really kind of want Prospero trying to get off first. Because, you know, he's an inconsiderate lover. And also because I want him to be marking for our units that can take advantage of those mark synergies. We good? Yeah, we're good. This is our team. Okay, trinkets are equipped. We should probably do a little armor and weapon upgrades here, though, because we can. Do we want to focus that on these guys? I think Malvolio is the only person who we want to give the blacksmith upgrades to. Rest of these guys are going to be fine. 9,000. And then we'll save most of the rest of our remaining upgrades for probably Perdita, Macbeth, and Othello, because I kind of feel like they're going to be an integral part of the remaining run of... into the they're doing boss passages and whatnot. Honestly, I don't know where I was going with that sentence. They're going to be like my premier team, even though one of them does have the Crimson Curse, which... I'm still salty about it. Let's get provision. We have to bring at least 1 blood on the mission, too. So give me 1 blood. This mission should be relatively short. I'm going to buy that. I'm going to sell 2 of those back, because I don't really think we're going to need that many torches. Give me, 3 shovels is probably fine. Couple anti-venom, couple bandages, 1 medicinal herb, 1 holy water. We got plenty of torches. Food, just give me like 20 is good. 20 food should be enough to see us to our destination. And that's it. We're going to go kill ourselves a prophet. Sonorous or otherwise.
Excavations beneath the manor were well underway when a particularly ragged indigent arrived in the hamlet.
Why didn't you just offer him a job?
Filthy, toothless miscreant.
He's not toothless. Look, he's got like 4.
Of my ambitions.
I count at least 4 teeth in that man's skull. You can't call him toothless. You could call him tooth poor, but you can't call him toothless. Tooth challenged, maybe, is probably... He's dentally challenged. Ancestor, I insist that you use some, more congenial language. A little more PC, please. So, where could he be? 3, 4. So we're 4 rooms here. And we go 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, yeah, he's gonna definitely be here. Yep. All right. Sonorous Prophet is over there. This dungeon layout, by the way, is just trash. It's just real bad. We probably should have brought some more blood as well. Wonder how this works. Don't touch the book. Okay.
A handsome reward. For
It's
a
just the
task
blood-soaked
well performed.
pages from a torn journal. It's not a handsome reward at all. It's old, bloody chunks of paper. It's not a handsome reward. It's the opposite of a reward. Hey, you want to get, like, some blood-stained pages that we found lying on the floor? No, I don't want those at all. We did bring a flagellant into the ruins, which, on second consideration, is probably not the greatest idea, because most of these things are going to be immune to bleeds. And by most, I mean basically all of them. And bleeds are sort of his go-to thing, but also he can still do some... I mean, he's not going to be able to make anything bleed, but he can still do some damage. Not a lot, but he's... You know, we're saving him for the prophet. The sonorous prophet is why we brought this guy. We didn't bring these guys to be good in the ruins. We brought these guys to kill the prophet, and they're going to be able to do that. That was a magnificent shuffle, by the way. Okay, cool. Nicely dodged by Prospero. Stun wears off. We take no stress attack here. We could mark a unit. Honestly, I think we go ahead and take the kill and get some starter damage here on this Arbalist. Rosencrantz with another sweet dodge. These guys are doing... Alright, you guys are doing some work here. 7 damage out of this corner here, which means our boy here is likely going to be able to finish him off. Let's go ahead and mark the big guy. Even without our bleed meta, which... Okay, can take me with the knife in the dark. Sucker! Nobody touches Malvolio. Well, I mean, he touches himself, but don't we all? Everybody touches himself. Anybody who tells you they don't, yeah, they're fucking lying. Go ahead and mark this one. We could have hit him for some damage. Instead, I think we mark him up and let Lounce finish him off. Comes an axe blade at Rosencrantz. 4 damage, no big deal. We're beyond any concerns about stress either, so at this point, you know what? Why don't you chew up... We got a minute here. Why don't you chew a little stress off of him? He loses 14, you pick up 6.
Eradicated.
And then Rosencrantz hews a man in half. Or what's left of a man. So this is going to give us damage resistance. Who would we like to give that? You know what, Rosencrantz, you take this. Never mind, it gave you Ruins Adventure, which also is good. I'm not going to... I'm never going to naysay a positive quirk. Why don't you chuck this vial of holy water into this decorative ashes and we'll get some sweet loot.
Glittering gold, trinkets.
Why don't you chuck that vial of holy water into those ashes and we'll get some loot. Not necessarily of the sweet variety. We'll get some loot. Yeah, we gave up a little bit. We don't exactly have the highest light rating, but if we need a higher light rating to beat 2 Bone Rabble, we're in deep shit. I don't think this guy's even going to swing.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy.
Those guys were what I like to call a speed bump encounter, in that they're just there to pad out the length of the episode, which is good for me, because it, you know, anything that provides cheap content, I'm all over. I'll take your torch, Darkest Dungeon. I'm not above taking a pity torch. We're actually going to have to go through quite a few more rooms than I expected us to, so the pity torch is sort of much appreciated. There's a hunger prompt. Hunger could be a bit of an issue for us if we get a bunch of those back to back or a bunch of those in a row. We're not super well suited for food. I mean, we're not poorly suited for food, but I wasn't really expecting us to have to go through this many rooms. So we're definitely going to do the flashbang shuffle meta combo. Rosencrantz. It didn't kill him, but it did bring him up to the point where he's going to be killable. We're not going to get a bleed, of course, because these guys are basically bleed immune. Tempting Goblet, that's fine. Chuck it at Malvolio. He likes your stress. He also likes the damage, and I kind of need him more injured. Prospero getting so close to the kill and then being denied. But we are going to get a kill right here.
Press disadvantage. Give them no quarter.
Bit of graveyard slash. Ow. Okay, the critical is not that pleasant. There's a little dead weight. Just don't be stunned. Perfect. Tempting Goblet. All right, more stress for us. We'll get a little bit of stress back. I mean, we're still in fine shape here. We got really nothing to worry about. Go ahead and mark this guy. Let's get this dude softened up for subsequent party members. Prospero, you should probably go ahead and throw a heal here at Rosencrantz. The fact that you criticaled for only 8 makes me a little bit salty. On the plus side, the enemy only got 3 of that back, so hey, net gain, baby, net gain. No bleed, Lounce getting a little bit of stress relief. Dead weight, Rosencrantz taken to the face again. I'm not calling you dead weight, Rosencrantz. You're contributing nicely to the overall team dynamic. You just did some really good damage right there. We're going to steal a little bit more stress from our boy back here. And then I think we're going to throw a heal and cry havoc. I'm willing to take a hit from this guy if it gives us an opportunity for a little bit of stress relief. There we go. We basically undid that critical, and the fact that we got rid of 5 on Malvolio was nice, because he's a stress eater. Not that he eats when stressed, but, you know, he devours the stress. You know what I'm saying. I mean, he could also technically be a stress eater, even though stress eater is a specific quirk. That's the thing. Oh, we critical marked him. That's good. Just please kill him, then. I'm tired of... We don't really need to do any more.
Be wary.
Restore the party to order. Who wants to touch the squidgy tentacle? Malvolio? Let me touch it. It's fine. Altar is purely decorative. Let's go, then. Man, Malvolio's in a hurry. Like, let's go. Channeling Dan Giesling, I guess. Don't touch books. We don't have scouting. Craving, dodge. What? The bloodlust. I must have the blood. He's into craving. It gives him big penalties, but +2 speed. I say we hold off. We only brought 1 vial of blood, so I think we wait until he's actually wasting before we give him blood. He wants the blood, but you know what? You're going to have to learn to fight your baser temptations. Well, if we go this way, we definitely skip at least 1 hallway battle and 1 room battle, and we can arc over. I think we go for the skip. I'm interested in getting to the Sonorous Prophet like as quickly and relatively undamaged as possible.
Stone seems bent on preventing passage.
Oh, the cold stone. You're always talking about the cold stone. I think Wayne June just has like a secret craving for ice cream. Just be like, Pete, the cold stone calls us with its summoning cries and delicious sweetness. The cold stone wants us to get a hot fudge sundae that's been filled with Snickers bars. Which does sound pretty good, Wayne June. I can't fault your taste. Okay, we have successfully managed to avoid... Yeah, that's solid. We made a good decision. Trap disarm. Who's got the most stress? You have none, so it's going to be you. You should have 100%. Yep. A little bit of freebie. Take it in the stress relief department. Touch the backpack. Back has a map inside. That's going to be basically useless. It was better than a trap, though. You're not wrong. No room battle in here. And, okay, so we have correctly managed to path our way to the chief boss at the end of the fight. Don't touch books, though. These will be harder to fight in the dark. Well, fortunately, we're not going to fight them in the dark. We're going to burn a torch right before we encounter them, like so. 2 torches, in fact, just to crank the light level all the way up to max. And we'll bump into these dudes right here. And we finally found some targets that are capable of bleeding. That's good. First off, though, flashbang the stress unit. And also bumped them to the front is extraordinarily useful. These guys. Go ahead and mark this. We don't necessarily need heals right now. You can start whomping on those guys. Get a good bleed on them, possibly fatal. Pretty close. I mean, it is fatal damage, just not immediately fatal. If anybody's taking shots here, we kind of want it to be Malvolio. Stumbling scratch? Yeah, keep the pain coming. That's it. That's what we need right there. Crimson Curse doesn't give us a penalty to death blow resist, does it? It does not. Lowers our virtue chance, lowers our max HP, which again, for the flagellant, not necessarily a huge drawback.
Cleansed from our lands.
I am reduced to pure desire, a fire that cleanses reason. He is... Oh, the Crimson Curse made you pass? You jerk ass! I am not happy about that, son. We will probably purge that then before we go into the final fight, simply because I don't want to take any risk. Yeah, no. We're gonna purge that. I don't want there to be any risk of having him miss a critical opportunity during the fight. with the sonorous prophet. Also,
Slow death.
having craving and having recently fed does give him a buff as well. Nice kill from Lounce.
Ghoulish horrors. Brought low and driven into the mud.
Turn a torch. I'm debating whether we want to go camp. I think we fight, go clear the room battle, backtrack, and then camp so we can get to the boss fight without... I think that's still our best overall strategy. A little bit of surprise here. Okay, we can make this work to our advantage. First things first, let's flashbang one of these guys and try and push him over. The shuffle is actually more important than the stun here. So then you do this. 5 damage, which means we're going to need to hit you one more time. That's okay. Prospero. Drop a train on those 2 jerkasses. And then you kill this one. Nicely done. So we're going to avoid the stress from the initial onslaught. Malvolio. Oh, come on. Take the hit, dog. Take the hit. That's my boy. We want him to be under 50% when we start this fight so that we've got an opportunity to lead things off with the next Sanguinate, because we really want to hit the Sonorous Prophet hard from the jump. Didn't whack you with the uppercut. We're not going to get to bleed here, but I mean, they're bone wrapped. Anybody can kill these guys. Go ahead and take it. I was thinking about crying havoc for a little bit of stress relief, but we're going to feast when we camp. So the stress release we basically have covered already. Unlock strong box, just check it out.
Trick of the light.
I must see if there's any blood hidden here. There's no blood hidden there. Okay, so the craving has other negative effects in that it also makes you kind of dumb. We fight. Oh, good. People whose sole purpose is to give us the Crimson Curse. On the plus side, we did surprise them. This would be 9 damage on 2. I would really much rather kill one.
Annihilated.
I was gonna say, I would much rather kill one than set up kills. We're vastly better. We gotta get these guys dead as swiftly as is humanly possible. If the bleed sticks, that guy's dead. Perfect. So that's a kill. And then Lounce can kill this man. Press predigestion. Okay, this cannot give us the Crimson Curse, so we're safe because this guy's gonna drop dead. Now all we gotta do is beat this man on a speed roll. Perfect. That's fatal damage with the bleed. Exactly what we needed. The rest of this turn doesn't even matter at all. So, what can we do that will be most helpful? Nothing with you, so stun, which we resisted. You should probably just heal yourself. For 5. Actually came out to probably in the long run be a negative heal. And then we're going to cry havoc for some stress relief.
Great is the weapon that cuts on its own.
Yeah. That actually turned out respectably well. Let's get rid of lights and bleeds. Also, I'm actually going to throw that bandage on the ground because we're kind of hurting for heirlooms. What if we're ambushed like this? You got to walk like 2 feet, dude. You're worried about an ambush between you and the door that you literally just stepped out of? Being a little overcautious, dog.
A moment of respite.
So we feast.
To steel oneself against the coming.
This guy is very upset because he didn't want actual food. All right, first things first, no nighttime ambush. I will spend 4 time to prevent nighttime ambush. You can Lash's Cure, except that only removes diseases from you. Lash's Solace. Get rid of all your stress. Find comfort in the pain. Well, good, because there's going to be plenty of it. Plan Takedown. Bonus damage against size 2. I would really rather just you have bonus accuracy and bonus critical, so this is how we do it. Get you a buff. What other buffs can we assign here? We could give somebody Dark Strength. It gives us plus 20% damage for 1 target. You know what? Do this, yes. Dark Strength. And if we have enough time, I was hopeful we would still have enough time that we could maybe encourage that away. We cannot, though. We could give ourselves 40 stress, or here, just cure disease. Didn't work. Well, probably too much to ask that it would cure the Crimson Curse, I suppose. Alright, pump strong. Place is horrific. Favored by the gods. Yeah, we're good, guys. Just get
The
up
way
and go.
is lit.
We're totally
the
safe.
path is clear.
Onward we go,
require
in to
only
go
the
fight the
strength to
Sonorous
follow it.
Prophet. The Sonorous Prophet, I think, is maybe one of the most challenging and difficult bonus bosses. I really dislike him, actually. Check the sack. Sack's contents are ours. Okay, 750 gold. Alright, so we prep.
The
Prep
light,
consists of
the
full
promise of
torchlight
safety.
and blood for our boy. Drinking the blood has a terrifying effect on the hero. They crave violence. He has bloodlust. Oh, so the longer you wait before you drink the blood, the better it gets. We have +4 speed, +25. Oh god, this guy's gonna be in a fury. He's doing catastrophic damage. So you should wait until like the last possible moment to drink blood. The longer you wait, the better the effects. Very good. All right, so lesson learned. Drive him to the brink of insanity, then give him blood.
Behind the pews, spouting his
A calamitous prognostication for Lounce. That's fine. Disaster will strike here. It is certain. Okay, what can you do from this position? You could redeem someone. That's really it. I'm certain these things are immune to bleed. They're 200% bleed resistant. But we can probably just beat our way through one. And that's really all we need to do. We got to get through one of these pews, and it's almost already opened up. You know what? How move resistant are you? Entirely. You're also almost entirely stun resistant. I think our best bet then would be to give you a mark. No, you know what? Kill the pew. Marking would have also been useful, but you got Prospero that can do that. Fulminate us. Lounce took a little bit of blight. The blight on Lounce actually sucks because he's going to get wrecked when the ceiling falls on his dome here. Let's give you some dog treats and then bite the shit out of this guy. Rubble Ruin, here it comes. Okay, 13. It's not even enough to put him immediately to death's door. We can patch that up. Calamitous prognosticated 2 of our boys. Get ready to get just ruined by an exsanguinate, by the way. Hit the... I want another one of these gone. Can we exsanguinate you? We can't hit that position yet. Well, okay. So let's heal both of these guys then. Big heals for 2 members of the team. We could even go more heal. Now, keep the mark. Prospero's going to be doing our heavy lifting here because he's the only guy who can get deep enough to get onto the Prophet. There's the Fulminate.
Mortality clarified in a single strike.
Bunch of Blight coming down. Neither of the guys who are in vulnerable positions actually... The Blight didn't stick. There's 20 big old damage from Lounce. Doing work. Here comes the Rubble. Suck it, Prophet! Bet you didn't see that one coming, did you, Chump Stain? Where's your god now? Yeah, take a big-ass bleed. Keep the mark up. We don't really need to drop a heal on anybody. The guy who's about to eat the prognostication is actually uninjured. I really want you to chew through that pew. Or dog treat. Oh, you already have the dog treat. Alright. Just keep chewing on him then. Sonorous Prophet is really getting worked over, and there comes the Fulminate. Mostly dodged. Rubble falls. Rosencrantz takes 13. We'll patch you up, Rosencrantz. Don't worry. Here comes more calamitous prognostication. I don't know if he's going to live to land another one. I will taste you and nothing will stop me. All that did was give us stress. Also, I will taste you and nothing will stop me? I don't know about that one, Darkest Dungeon. That seems vaguely threatening in a not okay kind of way. But dude walk up to you on the street and said to you, I will taste you and nothing will stop me, you would run screaming. I would run screaming, and I wouldn't necessarily even not be into that.
I care not.
Like, you want to taste me?
Remains dead.
And I'm going to taste mostly like salt and vinegar, but it's okay. You like salt and vinegar potato chips? It's what I'm going to taste like, mostly. Well, these consecrated pews are worth a fortune, and this dog treat is useless. So let's take that. Swordsman's Crest we don't have. Survival Guide I really like. It's actually quite good. let's get that in us. And I mean, you know what? Let's just, here, we're done. I think we go. Back-to-back boss crushing for this team. I'm really liking what they're putting down. Admittedly, I'm less enthused about the whole I will taste you and nothing will stop me kind of thing, but it's a little off-putting. Minus 25% stress if you got the Crimson Curse. I really like that. And one of the reasons I think the Coven Signet is very good, we have 2 Flagellants who have the Crimson Curse, and their stress-eating ability, that's going to be really helpful. If they devour 13 stress and take 6, instead they're devouring 13 stress and taking like 4. So it's a much better net gain for them. It really helps them out. And there's what we wanted to see, though. Those Resolve rank 3s rolling in. You suddenly have a Fear of Beasts, which is not good. Warren's Adventure, which is okay. Vertigo actually kind of sucks. Automatonophobia at this point, also, I mean, that actually also sucks. Cove Explorer is okay. We kind of got boned on the post-adventure here. Sonorous Prophet gave us some relatively bad shit.
You will know.
Malvolio's rank 3, Rosencrantz rank 3, Lounce rank 3, Prospero making it to rank 3. How close are we to upgrading the Stagecoach? I really want to get our next pretty much the whole way. All right. What about... I mean, we got the Blacksmith covered, right? Yeah, we've got up to rank 3 weapons and armor, so the Blacksmith can idle for now. Guild, what about you? You take portraits. We have enough. I would almost rather make them cheaper. We've got enough for rank 3 skills. I would rather make them cheaper than getting Instructor Master rank 4, although we don't want to use portraits because that's going to definitely be our next upgrade. I'd rather make the skills cheaper right now, and we'll worry about getting them higher level in a bit. So Prospero, what disease have you got? Spasms of the entrails is actually not that bad. Lounce, Wasting Sickness really sucks, though. You get the Wasting Sickness, you're just going to get a whole bunch more diseases in like relatively rapid order. So I think that's the one we get rid of. Lounce, get rid of the Wasting Sickness. Sort of. Rosencrantz, we might be able to get into a party with maybe Lady Macbeth or something and see if we can get a little bit of natural disease reduction. Falstaff's bulimia is as funny as it's ever been, so we're going to leave that alone. Anything else we can kind of do around the hamlet right now? Who's on the Stagecoach? I mean, we can't pick anybody up, but we really need to get some upgrades. We do have 66 crests, and we're trying to build that up to 200 so we can get the Puppet Theater and get the passive stress reduction while just idling in town. I'm sort of at a bit of a loss of where to go now. I mean, I think maybe we should try and get a team prepped up and ready to go into the Crimson Court. I was sort of hopeful that Romeo and Juliet would be handling most of that, but they're sort of lagging behind because we're not using them. We could also try and put together a team. I really want to get Caliban in because I feel like I haven't really fully explored what the Abomination is capable of. The problem is, Abominations and Flagellants won't work together because Flagellants are religious. I hate that the Abomination is so difficult to find a team for. It makes it extraordinarily difficult to figure out who to put with him. Like, he combos well with a Plague Doctor, I feel, and then maybe we could put Katharina in front of him. But then somebody's got to heal that team, and we can't use a Vestal for that purpose because they won't heal him. A Flagellant could also sort of be the stopgap integral there on a healer, but again, the Flagellant also won't heal that party, so you're pretty much stuck with, if you're going to have an Abomination, they have to work exclusively with an Occultist. The Occultist is really the only person that can heal them, and our Occultist is now so high level that it feels like our Abomination's just going to get left behind. We really need to pass that no Abomination left behind legislature, but damn Republicans controlling the Congress. They won't let me tax and spend the way I want to in my own hamlet. It's criminal is what it is. It's also the end of the episode. If you enjoyed it, feel free to drop a like down in the comment section. Support really does mean a lot. If you'd like to help us push our no Abomination left behind legislation through, despite an overwhelming majority of the opposing party, you might consider subscribing as well. Post new episodes of Darkest Dungeon every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Right now, thanks very much for watching. See you again soon.